Owned and operated, serving the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties for the last 25 years. The practice of medicine is changing dramatically. All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. AMP2.TV presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Hello, South Florida and beyond, and welcome to the Living a Longer and Healthier Life show for this evening, Tuesday, April 14th, 2020. We're going to be talking this evening with Darlene Swaffer. She's trademarked as the Medicare lady, and she's a Medicare brokerage insurance agent. So she's also running for Congress in 2020. So we're going to be bringing her on in a sec. She's gonna
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027, or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. AMP2.TV presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Hello, South Florida and beyond, and welcome to the Living a Longer and Healthier Life show. We're going to be talking with the Medicare lady this evening. Darlene Swafford. She is also going to
tell a little bit about a national healthcare conference she attended in February in Washington, D.C., as well as a run for Congress here, the state Congress in Florida, District 22. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome to the program Darlene. Darlene, how are you doing this evening? Okay. So Darlene is going to be calling in. I could tell you a little bit about her. We actually connected through this show, so that's always great news. She does. She's actually part of an insurance brokerage firm that she actually owns here in South Florida. It's the Sunshine Insurance Agency and Sunshine Insurance Associates LLC, and we'll ask her a bit about that as well. So one neat thing about that is it's a certified woman-owned company. So I'm really excited to talk to her about that as well. And she attended this past February, kind of before this whole thing came about, a national healthcare conference in Washington, D.C., and she's got some great things to share with us about that conference as well. So as I wait for her to call in, we can always talk a little bit about what's going on in healthcare as well. So if you have any questions or you want to talk about getting info out, what's going on in local healthcare organizations, etc., the number's 1-888-565-1470. So last week we talked a lot about different options available in South Florida and beyond for, what's going on in the healthcare institutions, as well as we had, Dr. Keith Robinson, the pulmonologist, on. So that was a very informative talk. I mean, we had a lot of listeners, and it had a lot to do with machines used for respiration. They shared a lot on that. But tonight I'd like to line up, the talk on, obviously Medicare. And I know there's different parts of Medicare because we had different, we've had everyone from certified insurance agents on this show talking about Medicare, vice presidents of home health care agencies talking about Medicare, as well as, doctors a little bit, but mostly, the ones who deal with the Medicare process. Hey, Darlene, welcome to the program. How are you doing this evening? Good, and thanks for joining me on the Living a Longer and Healthier Life show.
So let's get right into it. You're trademarked as the Medicare lady, and, we talk a lot of Medicare on this show. Obviously, we've had everyone from, vice presidents of home health care agencies talk about it, but never a licensed insurance broker. So tell us a little bit how you became trademarked the Medicare lady.
Well, it was a client of mine where we were trading calls back and forth, and this was before he was my client. We just kept missing each other, and after the third call, when I finally answered the phone, he said, "Are you that Medicare lady?" And that stuck. And I said, "Yes, I am, and can I steal that?" And that's what happened. That was quite a few years ago. And I worked for Humana for about 6 years, but when I ventured on my own to start my own company, I quickly trademarked it, and I incorporated. So I'm pretty excited. It's a name that stuck with me.
That was a smart move. Tell us a little bit about Sunshine Insurance Associates, and then I'll ask you about your credentials here because you got a lot of them after your name.
Okay. Well, the office that we have is a brick and mortar store, and it's a unique concept in the Medicare world. Typically, the model for Medicare is seniors would like an agent to come into their home, and 9 times out of 10, that agent only represents one company. And so our agency has independent agents. We have a team of 15, and each of our agents are contracted with most of the major carriers. So from United, Humana, Aetna, WellCare, Devota Health, AvMed, all the major carriers, MMM. And when they ask for an appointment for one of our agents, they have a full array of opportunities to meet their Medicare needs, their Medicare health choices. So they don't only have to settle for one carrier or have multiple appointments. And they also can walk into our office as well. We have a 4-agent desk. We have all the materials there. And the purpose is to create ease and to give them as much information as possible in the convenience of one appointment.
That's great. We're here with Darlene Swaffer. Did I get that right? I've read your name so many times, I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Darlene Swaffer?
Swaffer, yes.
Swaffer. I had it right before you came on, I had it right, and of course, I changed it around when I was listening to your great description there, so it's Swaffer. I got it right this time. So tell us where Sunshine Insurance Associates is located. Is that the address I have here in Deerfield Beach?
Yes, it's right on Hillsborough. It's right across the street from Century Village, pretty close proximity to other major retirement communities, such as Wynmore or Century Village up in Boca, Kings Point. So we're very close and strategically located very close to many of the retirement communities in our area. We're also down the street from several senior centers. And when we have major events, the Senior Center in Deerfield Beach will bus their seniors to our office. So it's a very sweet thing that they do there. But, we have a really nice open office. We always offer our, coffee, tea, hot chocolate, refreshments. We have educational training seminars on a regular basis. And sometimes I host a Q&A with the Medicare lady where they could just come in and ask questions in a Q&A type format, just in case they're curious of how their plan works. Even if they're not my client, I'm happy to do that. We're always happy to be of service to our community.
Yeah, and you have, I saw you have a lot of credentials after your name. It's MBE, WBE, EBE, CBE. What are those different certifications? What
they are is we are 100% certified as a woman-owned, Hispanic-owned, and disadvantaged business, and it covers emerging business too. So these are credentials by the state of Florida as well as other organizations. And we have the certificates on our window, and anybody can look up in the state of Florida and see, that we're registered as a woman-owned and Hispanic-owned business.
That's great. And you actually, I was reading, thanks to John Kelly, he actually sent me some more information. Normally I grab all the information, but I didn't know this. You were a founding member of the Puerto Rican Chamber of Commerce of Broward County. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's not, I wouldn't say founding. The founding members were all based in Dade County, but over 20 years ago when they were interested in kind of expanding their outreach into Broward County. In that respect, yes, I was the founder. I was the executive director for 4 years to bring the chamber up to Broward. And then a gentleman by the name of Frank Nieves took over for me, and I believe he's been kind of like in that role ever since.
Oh, that's great. Again, we're here with Darlene Swaffer. I think I got it right that time. Trademarked as the Medicare Lady, Medicare Brokerage Insurance Agency, which is, we learned already, is Sunshine Insurance Agency, 2745 West Hillsborough Boulevard, Suite 1, Deerfield Beach, 33442. And then I have an office number for you, 754-444-2782, and we'll give that out as well. Let's kind of jump around here a bit. One more question on Medicare, though. What is the most common question that you get on Medicare?
I would say that the most common, the number one question, and this is like across the board, is how does the coverage gap work on prescription drug plans? Why is there a coverage gap? Why can't they receive their prescriptions at a consistent copay throughout the entire year? And the best way to answer that question is Medicare has a guideline of how drugs are supposed to be covered. And they're covered in 4 stages. And every plan that offers drug coverage follows this same model. Because some people think, well, if I reach the coverage gap in July, I'm a diabetic, I take tier 3 prescription drugs, and every July I reach it, I want to change to another plan so that doesn't happen. And the issue is most plans may get you there around the same time. Very few plans will give you a little bit more coverage where maybe it'll take you a little bit longer to reach it, or the only other opportunity would be if you were taking generics instead of a tier 3 flex pen. Then it would take you longer, or maybe you'll never reach it. But for the most part, those 4 stages of how drugs are covered, and stage 3 being the coverage gap stage, every plan follows the same model. So that's the best answer I can give it. Yeah, and then if they, we go into a way more detailed explanation when we're going over the summary of benefits, because according to Medicare, we're very compliant in our agency. We go over every single stage. Like, this is how much, the stage 1 is the deductible stage. Well, for the most part, most of the HMO plans in South Florida do not have a deductible, so they're going to go straight to stage 2. And in stage 2, there's a certain amount allotted for the entire year to help pay for medications. Once they've spent that much money in the cost of medications, then they're going to move to stage 3. And in stage 3, their copay is going to be 25% for the most part for most of their drugs. Unless if they're in an HMO, their generics may be covered at 0. It depends on that plan, okay? And then once they reach a maximum out-of-pocket limit in stage 3, then they're going to move to the last stage, catastrophic coverage. But we go over the dollar amounts, the budget, what the percent of the copay would be during the coverage gap, and then what their potential copays would be in the catastrophic coverage stage. We go over that in full detail when we're going over summary of benefits.
That's great info. Again, it's Sunshine Insurance Agency. What's the website? I didn't grab that. I got all the rest.
It's https / sunshineinsurance.agency.
Sunshineinsurance.agency. Check it out, because there's a lot of great info there. Again, the number, we have it on the screen, 754-444-2782, located in Hillsborough Boulevard and Deerfield Beach, 2745 West Hillsborough Boulevard, Suite 1, Deerfield Beach. But you can get in contact with Darlene and set something up. Again, it's 754-444-2782. So also, you've had a lot going on last few months. You were in February, you were in Washington, D.C. for the NAHU Healthcare Legislative Conference. Tell us what brought you there, what you learned, what you brought back to South Florida.
Sure. Well, NAHU is like an association specifically for the insurance industry. What they do is they educate, they certify, they provide networking opportunities, sort of like, I'm a licensed professional, so this would be the organization that I'm a member of. So that's what they are. And once a year, they go to D.C., and they bring any issues that came up throughout the entire year from their clients. They bring it up to Washington and say, these are issues that have to be addressed that affect the health insurance community. And it's the entire community for individuals, group, and Medicare. And this is for the entire country. So you have every chapter throughout every state all together convenes in Washington, D.C. And so there were 700 of us that came from all over the country, and the first 2 days was talking about these specific issues. And so one of the big topics that came up was surprise billing. You go into the ER or you have a hospital stay, and you think that your insurance should be able to cover everything, and then when you come home and you're recovering, they hit you with these surprise bills claiming that the doctor was not in network that performed the service or the surgery. And that's why it takes you by surprise. Like, why am I being charged for out of network when, as emergency should always be covered as in network? And if it's a scheduled surgery, I should have only had in network providers providing me the service. And so that shouldn't be the case. The patient should not be dealing with that. And so that was an issue that we brought up, and we said, legislation has to be created to address this issue. And that way, patients don't have to worry about that. I mean, it's the least thing that you should worry about if it's an emergency or if you have a hospital stay. The other issue that came up was if somebody's turning 65 but they're still working for their employer and they have a health care savings account, the moment they get on Medicare, their employer tells them that they can no longer contribute to their health care spending account. And the question is why? Why is that? Why shouldn't they be able to continue contributing, knowing that the day that they retire, the money in there can be used for co-pays for medications or doctor visits or even hospital stays? So that was legislation that we were bringing to the Hill. And then the third item, there was a lot of items, but I think these were the top three. The third item was somebody is, 65 or older, and they're ready to retire, and they like their coverage, so they elect to get on Cobra, okay? So now they're on Cobra for 18 months, and they're getting off of Cobra and going on to Medicare. And what happens is they find out that Cobra is not considered credible coverage. And if it's not considered credible coverage, then they're going to be hit with a penalty for 18 months of not having Medicare coverage for Part B and Part D, right? If they're working, they're going to delay their Part B. They don't need it. They have credible group insurance, but they didn't realize that Cobra was not considered credible. So after hearing from all the experts on all these issues, and one of the experts that gave a talk was Seema Verma. She's the head of Medicare. And after hearing all the presentations for the first 2 days, the next 2 days, we went to meet with our legislators. And so we met with the office of Lois Frankel, Ted Deutsch, Elsie Hastings, and Brian Mass to talk to them about these particular issues, find out what their position is on those issues, and to get their buy-in, to get their support. And it was a really fantastic experience because you can see, I don't know if you remember Schoolhouse Rock, I'm Just a Bill.
Yeah.
Remember that cartoon? Well, you could see that play out in real time. So you had a chance to participate in the legislative process of, this is legislation that is either on the Hill. What's your take on it? And is it just a matter of lack of knowledge? Let's fill you in on all the details. We need your buy-in on this. And that was a really amazing experience. And I really recommend that everybody, go to the Hill and, participate in the legislative process because it's a great experience. And you feel that, as an American, you have the right to participate in that. And you should participate in that, whatever the cause is.
That's great. We could do a whole show on that.
I'm sorry?
That's great. We could do a whole show on that. Just that alone, your experience there. Lastly, I'm going to have you on again in the future because we got a lot to talk about. This is going to be ongoing. You're running for Congress in 2020. Tell us a little bit how that came about, your district. I believe it's 22. I think we confirmed that last night. But go ahead. Tell us. You have about a minute, Darlene.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about District 22 and you're running for Congress in the next 30 seconds. All right, well, we're going to have Darlene on next time. We'll dedicate the whole next show to her run for Congress 2020, and I know it's District 22. Again, it's swafferforcongress@gmail.com, swafferforcongress@gmail.com. And you can give her a call at 754-444-2782. We'll see you next time on the Living a Longer and Healthier Life show.
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality